Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today in Europe. We're joined by our equities reporter, Joe Easton, for that. Joe, good morning. Starting with JPMorgan, talking about luxury in Europe, potentially opening a Pandora's box.
Absolutely, a Pandora's box opened up by JPM. So JPM with a note today saying that it's difficult to call the bottom of the luxury market and downgrading Pandora to neutral from buy, and hence that segue there. But the bank more broadly saying that these tariffs are really going to continue hitting the sector and they can't see an end to declines at the moment. So they see the companies with strongest brand momentum and pricing power. So Richemont, Prada, Hermes with those Birkin bags, anything that kind of is able to weather the storm in a broader macro downturn. That's the only place to be in terms of where to buy in luxury at the moment. In terms of Pandora itself, that was a company hit particularly hard by the tariff news because they make all of their products over in Thailand, as we discussed before, and Thailand facing a 36% tariff from Trump. So that is part of the reason for that downgrade. And Pandora down almost 3% again this morning.
And Joe, Infineon showing the markets that automakers can still drive through deals.
Yeah, so Infineon driving that deal. It's an automotive deal. So the company is buying the automotive networking business from Marvell Technology over in the US for about $2.5 billion. So this appears to be a company that helps vehicles connect to each other and to softwares for automated driving and that kind of thing. So therefore they can pay $2.5 billion for that firm, but it's priced at around 35 times earnings, which is one of the most expensive deals we've seen for a while. So Infineon shares actually not reacting well to the news, down around 0.5% at the moment. But keep an eye on Marvell Tech over in the US because that one is to drive higher perhaps later today.
Okay, and then turning to the oil markets, Repsol and their latest earnings.
So Repsol looking a little bit weak. They are reporting softness in their refining margins. Now this coming amid this massive drop we've seen in the crude price recently. However, we are seeing the market recovering very slightly today. But nonetheless, Repsol warning that the lower crude price is going to hurt their margins and therefore downgrading some of their earnings forecasts. So that stock down around 0.5% at the moment. Actually one of the weakest in the sector because pretty much all of those stocks are bouncing back with the broader market this morning, but Repsol kind of bucking the trend with that weaker than expected production guidance today.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.